1. Zeus, king of the gods and master of lightning. Zeus wasn't just the king of the gods, he was a force of nature, a storm wrapped in human shape. Born in secret to escape being swallowed by his father Kronos, Zeus grew up with a destiny carved in thunder. The moment he reached adulthood, he led a rebellion that shook the foundation of the cosmos itself. With lightning bolts forged by the Cyclops, he freed his siblings and shattered the tyranny of the Titans. But victory didn't make him gentle. Zeus ruled Olympus with absolute authority. His temper could scorch mountains, and his justice could bring nations to their knees. Yet beneath the thunder was a complex god, protective, flawed, unpredictable. He shaped the fates of heroes, punished the wicked, but also made choices driven by emotion more than logic. His countless affairs sparked jealousy, vengeance, and wars, leaving stories that still echo today. Zeus was not just a ruler, he was the embodiment of raw power, desire, and divine contradiction. 2. Poseidon, god of the sea's wrath. Poseidon was a god whose emotions shaped the seas. When calm, the ocean sparkled like polished glass. When angered, waves rose like mountains and crushed entire fleets. As one of the three great rulers, alongside Zeus and Hades, Poseidon commanded all waters, from the deepest trenches to the smallest streams. Yet beneath his royal authority was a personality as unpredictable as the tides. Poseidon loved fiercely, fought brutally, and held grudges longer than mortals could comprehend. When a city honored another god over him, earthquakes shattered the earth. When a hero disrespected him, storms dragged ships into the abyss. Despite his fearsome nature, Poseidon was also a creator. With the stroke of his trident, he raised islands from the ocean floor and birthed mythical creatures like the majestic Pegasus. He protected sailors, blessed fishermen, and guarded those who respected the sea. But to cross Poseidon was to gamble with fate itself, for there was no fury like that of the god who ruled the endless, hungry ocean. 3. Hades, lord of the dead and keeper of shadows. Hades ruled a kingdom that no mortal ever escaped, the underworld. Unlike his brothers, Zeus and Poseidon, Hades did not command storms or oceans. He commanded silence, shadows, and the final breath of every mortal. He wasn't a villain, just a god bound by duty. When the world was divided among the three brothers, Hades took the realm no one else wanted. In his dark throne room, he watched the flow of souls like a quiet guardian. But love changed everything. When Hades saw Persephone, he felt something he had never felt before: longing. He brought her to the underworld, sparking the cycle of the seasons and the sorrow of Demeter. Despite his cold reputation, Hades was fair, just, and unwavering. He punished the wicked, rewarded the honorable, and ensured balance between life and death. In myths, he rarely left his realm, for he knew that without him, the world would collapse into chaos. Hades wasn't a monster. He was the inevitable end, the silent ruler we all eventually meet. 4. Hera, the goddess of marriage and unbreakable vengeance. Hera was the queen of the gods, a figure of grace, authority, and devastating wrath. She ruled beside Zeus, but her marriage was a storm hidden inside Olympus. Zeus's many affairs tore at her heart, fueling a rage that shaped legends. When Hera sought revenge, even gods trembled. She unleashed monsters, cursed heroes, and altered destinies. Yet, Hera wasn't defined by anger alone. As the goddess of marriage and family, she protected women, built blessed unions, and brought harmony to homes. Mortals prayed to her for guidance, and queens sought her favor. Hera embodied dignity, loyalty, and power, yet also pain, jealousy, and fury. She fought constantly to assert her place in a world where Zeus's actions often humiliated her. Her dual nature, nurturing and destructive, made her one of the most complex deities in Greek mythology. Hera was a goddess who loved deeply and punished fiercely, reminding everyone that betrayal always carried consequences, even among the gods. 5. Athena, the goddess of wisdom and strategy. Athena emerged fully grown and armored from Zeus's head, a miracle and a mystery. She embodied intelligence, discipline, and the cool calculation of a master strategist. In war, she sought precision rather than chaos. In peace, she guided mortals toward knowledge, crafts, and justice. Athena's presence was calm, yet intimidating. She rarely acted out of emotion, choosing reason over rage. Heroes like Odysseus, Perseus, and Heracles thrived under her guidance. Cities flourished under her protection, especially Athens, named in her honor after she gifted them the olive tree, a symbol of prosperity. Though often gentle, Athena had limits. Insults to her wisdom or sacred spaces ignited divine retribution. She turned Arachne into a spider, punished hubris, and defended the weak with unwavering resolve. Athena represented the highest ideals of ancient Greece: clarity, discipline, and intelligence. She stood as a beacon for all who sought purpose through thought rather than brute strength. 6. Ares, the god of blood, rage, and war's chaos. Ares was the embodiment of raw violence. Unlike Athena's strategic warfare, Ares thrived on the chaos of battle, the screams, the blood, the clash of metal. He represented the darkest side of war, where reason vanished and instinct took over. Though feared on Olympus, Ares was undeniably powerful. His presence on the battlefield turned warriors into berserkers and fear into madness. Yet beneath that savage exterior was vulnerability. Ares craved respect he never truly received. The other gods mocked him. Mortals feared him, and even his parents, Zeus and Hera, saw him as a burden. Love, however, softened him. His affair with Aphrodite revealed a side of him few knew: tender, passionate, and desperate for affection. Still, his temper controlled much of his fate. Every insult ignited fury. Every defeat fueled his desire for chaos. Ares was the fire of war, dangerous, unpredictable, and impossible to extinguish. 7. Apollo, god of light, music, and deadly prophecy. Apollo was perfection, beauty, talent, and brilliance wrapped into a single divine figure. With his golden bow, he struck down monsters. With his lyre, he soothed the hearts of gods and humans alike. But Apollo had another gift: prophecy. Through the Oracle of Delphi, his words shaped the destiny of entire civilizations. Yet, this gift made him both revered and feared. Apollo's love stories often ended in tragedy. Daphne fled from him and became a laurel tree. Hyacinthus died in his arms, turning into a flower. His emotions, though warm, could be deadly. When angered, Apollo punished nations with plagues or unleashed arrows of sickness. But he also inspired artists, guided heroes, and brought clarity to those seeking truth. Apollo was duality, light and shadow, love and sorrow, healing and destruction. 8. Artemis, goddess of the hunt and protector of the wild. Artemis was a goddess who refused to be tamed. Fierce, independent, and free, she roamed forests with her silver bow, protecting wildlife and punishing those who disrespected nature. Vowed to eternal maidenhood, Artemis valued her autonomy above all. Those who crossed her boundaries suffered her cold, divine wrath. When Actaeon accidentally saw her bathing, she transformed him into a stag, hunted down by his own hounds. Despite her harsh justice, Artemis cared deeply for women and children. She helped mothers in childbirth, guided young girls into adulthood, and defended the vulnerable. She balanced wild fury with gentle compassion. Her moonlit presence was both beautiful and intimidating. A goddess who loved the quiet of nature, but struck like lightning when angered. 9. Aphrodite, goddess of beauty, desire, and dangerous love. Aphrodite was beauty incarnate. She rose from the sea foam, radiant and irresistible. Her presence stirred desire in gods and mortals alike. But beauty came with consequences. Aphrodite's influence sparked jealousy, wars, and betrayals. Her love affair with Ares exposed the fragility of Olympus. She could bless relationships with passion or curse them with obsession. Her role in the Trojan War was undeniable. Paris crowned her the most beautiful, and the world burned because of it. Yet Aphrodite also brought healing. She soothed hearts, inspired artists, and reminded mortals of love's power. But love, in her hands, was unpredictable. Sometimes gentle, sometimes destructive. Aphrodite represented the truth that beauty can save or ruin. 10. Hermes, the trickster, messenger, and guide of souls. Hermes was the god of motion, mischief, and messages. From the moment he was born, he displayed unmatched cunning. As an infant, he stole Apollo's cattle and cleverly covered his tracks. But charm saved him. Instead of punishment, he gained Apollo's admiration. Hermes became the divine messenger, traveling freely between Olympus, Earth, and the underworld. He guided souls to Hades, protected travelers, and helped heroes with intelligence more than strength. His quick wit solved problems others couldn't. But Hermes was also unpredictable. He loved tricks, illusions, and bending the rules. For thieves, he was a patron. For merchants, a blessing. His winged sandals symbolized speed and freedom. Hermes reminded the world that sometimes brilliance came not from power, but from cleverness.